morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live on June 6th, 2023. I like to call it Transformation Tuesday because we are always talking about transforming, changing, modifying. And I got a really cool guest for you guys here today. We're going to talk to one of my favorite local artists here around town, here in Charleston, West Virginia. You probably know him as DJEJ, and he's been playing music all around Charleston. We're going to talk about some of the cool stuff that he's been involved in. Real quick, DJEJ, what's your hustle, buddy?
What's up, fam? How we doing? Thank you for having me, Joe. I'm so happy to be here. So my hustle is I've been in the midst of doing a 7-day DJ week, which most people probably in this regional area would never think that a DJ would work 7 days in a row, but I've actually got that much going on right now, and I'm just happy to be able to make time during this afternoon to hang out with you for a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Tell me a little bit about, now I saw that you were at a pretty big event going on last night. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so yesterday I was hanging out at the Capital Market and partnering with them on the Chef Paul Smith watch party, which Chef Paul is legendary and was in Chicago, Illinois for the James Beard Award ceremony, as he was a nominee in the Southeast Division. And so just to see the power of community get together to want to support this man and his journey. And Chef Paul is like me. We love what we do. To be acknowledged and to be celebrated kind of feels weird and awkward because we just love to do what we both do, and to be able to lift him up on such a high level as a community. That's what we did yesterday. And there was, man, so many people, hundreds of people came out yesterday and celebrated Chef Paul. And I was just happy to be at the helm to be able to provide some, some good vibes and good tunes during that day.
Now, when you get, how do you get invited to something like that, EJ? What's the process like for you to get involved in something like that?
As a DJ or just as a regular patron coming by to support the event?
As a DJ.
That's a good question. To shorten it down and make it sweet, I've always focused on trying to be a very open format, which is the generic term that DJs use in our community that describes the fact that you can mix country music with jazz and jazz with rock and rock with blues and blues with R&B and hip hop with rock again, and tie it all in and do things like that. So I've been very intentional with my career to expand my library, to expand my technicalities. So that allows me to be available for more than one or two types of events. Where we live in West Virginia, there is a lot of hip hop fans. There is a lot of R&B, country, bluegrass fans, and we all cross over. Me as a DJ, I'm trying to figure out how can I reach out and be a part of all of those fan bases plans, and that really is at the base of it.
Now, I like to talk to people here on the Kanawha Valley Hustlers podcast about business development and getting business and staying in business. Now, I know first and foremost, I know you're an artist, but what is the business side to DJing? What is that like?
Thank you for calling me an artist as well. That kind of acknowledgement is something that I've been really wanting to have privately, but without saying it publicly because some people just don't get it. But the fact that it's being recognized means a lot to me. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So to answer your question about the business side, the business side of it, let me decline this real quick. Sorry, got a phone call. So the business side of things, as a DJ here in West Virginia, there is multiple angles. So the first angle is, yeah, we live in a rural community. We live somewhere that a lot of folks don't really know what real DJing is. And by real DJing, I'm talking about techniques. I'm talking about the love of the craft. But the beauty of that is we have an opportunity to create as DJs. What is real DJing? What is it that you want to make happen? And that is where I reside, in that gray area between what we don't have and what we all know is out there. We've all traveled. We've all been to Myrtle Beach. We've all been to Vegas, Miami, New York, wherever. I live in that area between West Virginia and metro larger scale areas to try to create that for people here.
So tell me, I'm really curious. I have a buddy of mine that's a DJ in Las Vegas, and
Yeah.
he is very adamant about he requires vinyl for everything, and he says that if you don't use vinyl, you're not really a DJ, and he spends a lot of time dissing other DJs. Do you find is that something that's kind of part of the culture? Is that just the way some people are? What's your experience around those types of people?
That's such a good point to ask because we're going through any evolution right now in DJing because technology has made things so much easier. And a lot of people imagine if you decided today you wanted to get into it and you ask your friend about it, he's going to tell you just that. Me, I feel like I'm in the middle of the road because I've gotten fed from people like that, but I'm also aware of the technology. We don't use rotary phones anymore. Do people still say,
Right.
man, I'd rather use a landline? I don't want to talk to you on a cell phone. To me, that's kind of the same argument. And you'll see it a lot in forums. You'll see it a lot of, we'll say, old head DJs, but just people who've been doing it a long time. I have the highest level of love and respect for them because, yeah, to me, you have to know how to at least understand the craft and pay respect to it. You don't have to practice it. But if you get into this culture, I'm that person that will say, don't get into it because you think it's easy, fun, and let technology do our shortcuts. So I respect what that person says, and I believe he's right on that side of it for sure.
Is there an
And
element
but
of that? Is there an element of that where somebody like him, he kind of came up the old school way in the '80s,
for sure,
and it took a lot more trial and error, a lot more experience just to sound good. And now you could basically get a pretty inexpensive rig and sound good right off
correct,
the bat, right?
correct, and that's very true. Think about even in photo video editing, even writing websites, technology, all it was. How many people, even in tech, would say, boy, back in my day, if you're not doing it this way, it's the same thing in DJing because technology has advanced it so much. If you were to start wanting to learn, if you ask today, DJ EJ, I want to learn how to DJ, can you help me? The first thing I'll do is tell you it's not a shortcut, and I'm not about to um, what do you want to say, be negligent to the craft and the culture of the DJ and say, well, here's the shortcuts, here's how we do it today. No, I'm going to teach you the old school ways, the same way that your friend does vinyl and all that. I'm doing the same thing because if you don't know where it started, then how are you going to get to where you want to go?
Right. I'm a big believer in that myself. I know. So I grew up learning Photoshop, and Adobe's Photoshop takes a lot of cues from old school photography techniques, and a lot of they use the same words, even though it's all digital, so it doesn't really apply anymore. But I
Mm-hmm.
always thought that was really helpful to know. If you know the
Yes.
history of the technique, then it helps you understand how to use it better.
Yep, yep. What we run into a lot in today's society is people want the fastest thing now and the easiest way to get to it. And I'm just like your friend and a lot of DJs out there. I'm not the person that's going to give you the fast, easy answers because it took me, oh my gosh, 12 to 15 years to understand even the point that I'm at. But we're all chasing something. We're all working on something.
Right. And if you're not working, you're not trying, right? I mean, there's a lot of people
Correct.
that can, you can press shuffle and play, but that's not DJing, right?
Correct. And it can be in certain areas, but if that's all, if you can press shuffle and play, then but you don't care to get better and don't want to do more, then yeah, that's not DJing. Because there was a time that I only knew how to press play and shuffle, but knew that this was not my stopping point. And even still at this point, this is not my stopping point. And so yeah, that's it's a very good way to look at it. It's just a matter of how much do you care about the craft. And if you don't care about the craft, I can't help you.
Yep, I hear you. I hear you. Hey, so listen, EJ, tell me, what do you have coming up? Where can people see you in the coming
So
weeks?
in the coming weeks, this weekend, I'll be at Up Next Charlie West tonight down at DT Prime. I'll be at Up Next Charlie West networking event playing there. Wednesday, tomorrow, I will be at Bar 101 doing a cool series we call Wu-Tang Wednesdays, which in DJing, there's a lot of cool parties, and this is a very cool small party that we're just starting up and doing. It's called Wu-Tang Wednesdays, classic hip hop vibes. There's a lot of classic hip hop fans out here that you can't really go out and hear straight old school joints. That's what we're doing here at Bar 101. Thursday, I'll be at Business After Hours, which is going to be
great.
900 on Lee.
Yeah, I'll be there too.
Yes. So I'll be there in the mix on Thursday. Friday, I'll be at Canaan Valley doing the Mountaineer Media Golf outing. And
I'm
it's
going
a
to be up
large
there
statewide
too.
event. Oh, you'll be there, Joe?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So we're going to see each other a lot this week.
Yes. So that's Friday. I'll be there. I'm excited. Saturday, I have to go to Cleveland, Ohio to DJ an event up there. And that's my week in a nutshell.
Awesome.
I even DJ'd last night at Chef Paul's event. So it's, like I said, 7 days of action, and man, just keep up with what I'm doing through social media.
You sound like you love it, man. You really do.
I'm addicted to it. I don't love it. I'm addicted to it. And that's the biggest thing.
Nice. So where do people follow you if they want to keep up with your schedule?
So it's super easy. Everything for me is at Play DJEJ, PLAY DJEJ. DM me, text me. I respond back. I love interacting with new people, new friends, new fans, new followers, and just keeping up. And I love learning new ideas and new things about events. Let's try something new. Let's try something different. I've done so many different things around here in the city of Charleston that people probably aren't even aware that you could DJ an exercise class or a bicycle class or a restaurant.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm open. You throw it to me. If it makes sense, I'll do it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, DJ, thank you so much for joining me here today. Hang on for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to the folks, and then I'll pop right back on with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you appreciate it. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Get in touch with DJ EJ. Play DJ EJ all over social media. Shoot him a DM and get started with it. Thank you for joining us today. Hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you all again tomorrow.